Bum 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 bum. Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So July 18th is unofficially Women's Achievement Day. 125 years ago, for the first time in history, we had a chemical element discovered by a woman. I'd say that's probably the biggest uh, invention by a female in history, probably. I can't think of something else. It's the first chemical element, and at the time there was a lot of barriers, right? Unlike something today, right? Um, and I believe Mary Curry is still the smartest woman in history. It's kind of hard to compare over long periods of time, right? But I think she's usually up there. And so I took a day off today. It was one of the few days that I took off this year, believe it or not. I've been doing a lot of gig work and a lot of personal projects, and so this is probably only the fourth or fifth day in the year that I took off. I felt really good. And I'm going to propose something. I'm going to propose we abolish all of our traditional annual holidays, whether they be 4th of July, Juneteenth, we got Labor Day coming up, we got, uh, you get the idea, right? Just get rid of all of them. Not that I dislike any of them, by the way. I really love the 4th of July, especially what it stands for. I love the labor movement, right? I don't dislike any of that. What I do dislike is that my work is flowing right, and all of a sudden I'm forced to take a day off and waste it, right? And well, we should take days off when it makes sense for ourselves, right? Now let me give you an idea of what I did on my day off. Nothing in particular, actually. What it did allow me to do is to slow down. Especially, I have eating disorder problems, and for once, I didn't have to think about the time while I was eating. There was nothing to race to, and I felt as one with my food. A lot of times, if I don't have a whole lot of time to eat, uh, something's weighing heavily on me while I'm eating. Sometimes other people are interrupting me. My phone is blowing up as I'm eating. Um, when I eat at the campus, people want to talk to me, or I got something to race to. I got to watch the time as I'm eating. I didn't have to do any of that. I really did feel as one with my food. Now, what's really unfortunate is that I hang out in the cafeteria and Whole Foods a lot. I sometimes go to the library. I was reading a statistic. They say that 1 in 10 Americans is addicted to food. I find that hard to believe. It's probably more like 1 in 10 is not addicted to food. Tell me one time you've seen an American sit down to a meal and feel as one with their food. Probably never. Usually they're gulping their food down. They're racing to get somewhere. Also, as much as we talk about stagflation and how people might have to sacrifice their favorite food, nobody's happy about that. In an ideal world where people were not addicted to food, imagine because of stagflation, somebody who was already wanting to quit smoking, now they can't afford their cigarettes. That would be a good thing, right? Unfortunately, you never see that kind of attitude play out with their food, right? And so it's just sad, right? Trying to take food out of somebody's mouth, even if it's excessive food, it's almost like pulling teeth here in the United States. It really is. Sometimes I talk to these. You got somebody who, especially here in Phoenix, we got a lot of really big people of a very specific race. I'm not going to say the name on here, but you know that the only way they entertain themselves is to stuff their face. And the other way they like to entertain themselves is something that causes their population to also grow, right? I hate to say what it is and what race I'm talking about. You know it. Oh, here in the Phoenix. It's sad. It's sad. We need more of those people to come up with chemical element 119, find a cure for long COVID, and all the rest, or find out how to live to be 300 years old. Unfortunately, these people will never do that. They'd rather stuff their face and produce copies of themselves, right? That's the only two ways they know how to enjoy their lives, right? Those are two things that I abstained from today, and I felt really good. I really did. And we need more days like that. Now, why can't I do this on the 4th of July or on Labor Day? Well, two things. Number one, my body might not be tuned to wanting to do that. Maybe on the 4th of July, all of a sudden I get a great idea of how to create chemical element number 119, right? And I hate to waste that momentum, right? Today I just happen to have a lazy day and it all worked out, right? Number two, everybody takes the 4th of July off. I won't be able to go to my favorite places, right? So I propose, why not just allow people to take their holidays whenever they want? Better yet, float our weekends as well, right? If you're got a momentum and the train is already going 100 miles an hour on a Friday, it's a huge waste of that momentum to be forced to take the weekend off, right? In my opinion. So just get rid of the weekends, get rid of the holidays, give everybody like 80 days every year to do whatever they want. I guarantee you, people, even though it's much fewer days, people will be much happier because they get to choose when to take them. All right, just an idea to throw out there. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.